Floodplain management is important because as more and more people both live and move to the coast, and also as the sea level rise increases, it's really putting more people in harm's way. And we need to be thinking about today how we can reduce the impacts in the future.
I think that as more people move in and near floodplains, and as floodplains tend to get larger due to sea level rise and other climate change impacts, the problem gets worse. And so status quo is probably gonna, we need to do more than just status quo in order to get ahead of the problem, because of population growth in the floodplain is just gonna continue to increase.
You know, we think of sea level rise as this relatively benign activity. Well, when the water gets deeper, not only does the water get deeper, but the waves get deeper, and we're going to, again, spend money, and we're going to make people's lives miserable unless we start to adapt and figure out how to deal with it.
Climate change brings the big question of what's going to happen next. I don't think anybody really has a good handle on what that's going to be, but it increases the unknown. And so anytime the risk increases, you really have to step back a little bit and say, what can I do to be a little bit safer? What can I do to lower my risk when I really don't know what's around the next corner? So moving back from the river is avoidance is always the first option. Building a little higher is the next choice. So it's one of those things that with climate change coming, we've seen differences in our snowpack, differences in our rainfall. It's one of those things that we just have to adapt. And one of those ways is that we know there is a risk, there's the river, step back a bit and have a little room.
Coastal communities and even a lot of riverine communities are going to be impacted hugely. Sea level rise is one thing, but again, just the notion of climate change, areas of the globe that will be getting wetter, some areas will be getting drier. You know, I've heard it said, I think that one of the speakers yesterday said the next war will be fought over water. So again, the management of water, its impacts, and really understanding how climate change, you know, you can't be looking at, geez, we flooded last year, how do we worry about the flood for next year? No, you've got to be looking 10, 20 years into the future, and the more progressive communities are looking hundreds of years into the future.